Hi, guys.
Ha
How are you tonight?
ha!
All right, so...
Oh, that's what's wrong with it. The camera's way over there.
No, I did that on purpose.
Oh. Oh.
So I didn't look like I was looking to the side again.
Hey, there.
Guys, how are you?
Okay. But
You weren't out of the picture.
I guess, you know,
Fine, guys,
no, it's
whatever.
okay. It's okay.
Hi, Calvin.
I understand that I'm just not loved anymore.
Hey, Natalie.
You know, I
Okay.
slave over a hot stove making you badass gumbo, and I smell like onions and garlic and bell peppers and
I'm
the Holy
Sicilian.
Trinity.
I always smell like that.
Well, you know what? I smell like that. I'm supposed to smell like German sausage.
Sorry,
I'm
guys.
supposed to smell like beer brats. Oh no, you can. I'm down with you putting your armpit in my face.
I know
left
you
and right.
are.
I'll do this. I'll do this.
You lick it.
Yep. I'll do it right now.
All right, guys. So tonight, hey, Kisa.
Hi, Kisa.
So tonight we are talking about the Black Dahlia murder. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. I forgot we were doing this subject tonight. I thought we were talking about JFK.
That is an odd tasting beer.
Is that one of the weird ones that you
Yeah,
just
well, it's
got?
Alpine Beer Company.
Does it taste like pine?
It tastes like grapefruit, but it's not
Gross.
grapefruit.
It smells like grapefruit.
It's pretty good.
All right.
I just wasn't
Smell
expecting.
like burritos.
Un burritos, por favor.
Actually, burritos. I'm going to call them burritos now. I like that.
Hi, Kisa.
Kisa, you're awesome, by the way.
Yes.
All right, so tonight we're talking about the Black Dahlia murder. Hey, Mikey.
Hi, Mikey.
Guys, do us a favor. Share out, please.
Like and share.
Like and share, like and share.
Hit the bell.
Boom.
Boom.
All right, so tonight we're talking about Elizabeth Short.
She's pretty short.
She was not really that short.
Well, she was
She
after.
was 5'6".
She wasn't 5'6". She wasn't 5'6" after what happened to her.
I do not have a picture of that, by the way.
We can't show that.
Because last time I did that, we got dinged. Hey, Chaos, what's up?
Chaos.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so versus Elizabeth Long.
So long.
Thank you. Why is the volume up?
Sorry, I'm sharing.
All right, so Elizabeth Short, born July 29th, 1924. She had gone missing January 9th of 1947, and she was found on January 15th, 1947. She was known posthumously as the Black Dahlia. Thank you, Calvin.
Calvin,
I know.
thank you. You're awesome.
Hey, Dizzy, what's up?
Hi, Dizzy.
I gotta get touch base with you again. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Tim.
What's up?
It's
Sorry.
Tim.
I just took a shower. I needed to.
Yeah, we rushed.
Hey, Genevieve.
Hi, Genevieve. We rushed to get in here because
We're good. We're good.
we've
Thank
been
you.
busy today. Liz has been off and she's been walking dogs today.
Mm-hmm.
And then I rushed home
I got bit,
and made gumbo for about 5 hours.
but not very hard.
And then we had to rush to take a shower.
So, Genevieve says this story always freaks her out.
Yeah. Could this story be considered a half-truth?
Oh, God.
So, I'm just saying.
Um,
Are we going to get the whole story here?
Elizabeth Short was found murdered in Leimert Park, in the Leimert Park neighborhood, I should say, of Los Angeles. What did I do?
Uh-oh.
Give me a sec, guys.
There we go.
Woo! I accidentally closed something. She was actually native to Boston. She spent most of her early life in Medford, Massachusetts, and Florida, before she relocated to California, where her father lived. Oh, boy.
Yeah. This is just a preview of tomorrow night, Genevieve.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, it's commonly held that Elizabeth Short was an aspiring actress. Gosh, I can't talk. This is what you're in for tomorrow, Genevieve. No, an aspiring actress. Although she didn't have any acting credits or jobs during her time in Los Angeles. She would acquire the nickname the Black Dahlia, though.
Well, she was named after that band, wasn't she? I'm sorry, that's bad.
Dear God, no.
That band was terrible, too.
That band is terrible. I know, I can't wait either.
Actually, they're not too bad.
They're pretty bad.
They're
not good.
They have some good riffs, not gonna lie. They actually do.
Actus. Yeah. Hey, Bruito. This is all about the skookum. Okay? Hey, Dustin.
Hey, Dustin. All right. We got to get through this because we do have to.
I have a dog walk right after this.
Yeah.
Okay. So, she was actually named after the drugstore owner in Long Beach had told the reporters that the male customers that had come in there called her that. The newspaper of the time period often would nickname like particularly horrible crimes. Hey, Jillian.
Oh my fucking God, it's Jillian Thrillian. Oh, you guys are in for a treat tonight in the comments section. I'll tell you what.
Oh boy.
Man, I will tell you what.
Okay.
Jillian Thrillian's here.
I gotta get through this.
Sorry.
So, this term actually originated from a film noir murder mystery called The Blue Dahlia. And I actually have a picture.
They didn't call it Blue Velvet.
Yeah, Blue Velvet was a pretty messed up movie.
Really messed up movie. And every time it's on, I watch it. I'm sorry.
Can't help it. But yeah, this is a clip from that movie, by the way.
Yep.
So, and that was released in April of 1946. After the discovery of her body on the 15th of January, they began an extensive investigation that produced over 150 suspects, but we still never figured out who did it. Oh, tomorrow gonna be fun.
Oh. I hope we get Thrillian tomorrow. That's what I'm just hoping we get Thrillian.
So, Short's unsolved murder and the details surrounding it have been a lasting intrigue to all kinds of different people, I should say. People have been trying to solve this murder. Still. I don't think it's ever going to be solved.
No, the evidence is all long gone. There's a lot of theories.
There are a lot of theories. There's a lot of like conspiracy theories with it. A lot of public speculation. But her life and death have been now the basis of a lot of books and movies, and everything has kind of just been jumbled into theatrics. Really. Her murder is still frequently cited as one of the most famous unsolved murders in American history, as well as the oldest unsolved case in Los Angeles. I'm gonna kill my cat right now. It has also been credited by historians as one of the first major crimes post World War II in America that captured national attention, which was really fun. Ya moms.
Ya moms.
I know who it was. Ya moms. And this is why she's awesome.
Oh.
So, her childhood. Elizabeth Short was born on July 29th, 1924, rather, in the Hyde Park section of Boston, Massachusetts. She's the third of 5 daughters to Cleo and Phoebe May Short. Around 1927, the Short family relocated to Portland, Maine, before settling in Medford, Massachusetts, that same year. This is where Short was raised, actually, for most of her life. Her father built miniature golf courses until in 1929 when the stock market crashed.
Mikey says it was the Cecil Hotel.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
there is 2 things here.
There's actually speculation she was there.
Yep. And, well, I mean, this also, the Cecil and this murder right here actually inspired
a lot of things.
American Horror Story.
Well, in multiple ways, yeah. In fact, they have a girl who, by the way, looks just like her that plays the Dahlia. And then they try to say
was it Murder House? Or what was
it was the Murder House one. Skookum!
Skookum!
We found this thing and it just says Skookum, and I looked it up and it means like bravery.
Oh.
And I was like, Skookum! I'm
going to shook him all over the place.
We skooked him. Anyway, sorry guys. Look up Skookum. So he lost most of the family's savings, the dad. And the family was flat broke. In 1930, the car was actually found abandoned on the Charlestown Bridge. It was assumed that he had committed suicide by jumping into the river. Believing her husband to be deceased, Short's mother moved with her 5 daughters to a small apartment in Medford and worked as a bookkeeper to support them.
Calvin, if you want Little Bit to show up... Oh, you did it. You did say her name three times. Calvin said her name 3 times.
So, when Elizabeth Short was 15, she underwent lung surgery. She had bronchitis and severe asthma attacks, after which the doctors had suggested to relocate her to a climate that was more mild during the winter to prevent further respiratory problems. So, her mother actually moved them to Miami, Florida. Well, actually, moved her to Miami, Florida during the winters only. To live with some family friends. And during the next 3 years, she would live in Florida during the winter months and spent the rest of the year up in Medford with her mother and sisters. In her sophomore year, she actually dropped out of high school, though.
Yeah.
So I got a great picture here.
Hi, Jennifer.
That I thought I had already. Hey, Jennifer. Do I have it? Do I have it? So, in 1943, she was actually arrested for underage drinking. Here you go.
You could actually get arrested for that. Now they just slap you on the wrist and send you home.
Yeah. That was her mugshot. In 1942, Short's mother actually received a letter of apology from her presumed deceased husband, which revealed that he was actually alive and that he had left to start a new life in California. In December, at the age of 18, Elizabeth Short relocated to Viejo to live with her father, whom she had not seen since she was 6.
Oh, wait. There's Mission Viejo, too, right?
Yeah.
That's right. They actually have a mission there, don't they? That's why it's called Mission Viejo, right? Yeah. That's cool. It's gorgeous there. Oh, sorry. I'm still trying to share out here. I'm sorry. I'm trying to share to everybody. I've got like a couple thousand on my friends list.
Well, at the time, he was working at a nearby naval shipyard in San Francisco Bay. It's Mare Island Naval Shipyard.
Can I say something real fast? Can you hold your tongue and say shipyard?
Nope.
Can you hold your tongue and say he works at a shipyard?
Nope. Arguments between Short and her father led to her moving out in January of 1943, which would probably lend to this picture, actually.
So he was pretty short with her, wasn't he?
Probably. But that's probably where this picture came from, to be honest.
Yeah.
Was when she moved out.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, we got a bunch. Is Little Bit in here?
Little Bit! I texted her. I was like, get your ass in here, Little Bit.
My ass is here, Frank.
Yay!
In the name of Psycho Bunny, I summon the presence of a Little Bit Unright. No, actually, it was not Alameda. It was Mare.
Yeah. Damon, what's up? What's up, Ray?
What's up, Ray? Mm-hmm. So we're going to get back to the comments in a moment. I got to go click onto something.
Yeah.
So, she took a job at the base exchange at Camp Cook, which is now Vandenberg Air Force Base near Lompoc, living with several friends and briefly with an Army Air Force. Why does that say Army Air Force Sergeant?
Because at the time it was the Army Air Force.
That's right.
Air Force.
It is the Army Air Force Sergeant who reportedly abused her. She left Lompoc and in the mid 1943, and moved to Santa Barbara. Okay, that's when she was arrested. Where she was arrested on September 23rd, 1943, for underage drinking at a local bar. The juvenile authorities sent her back to Medford, but she returned instead to Florida, making only occasional visits to Massachusetts. So this was September of 43. She relocated again to Los Angeles in July of 46 to visit the Army Air Force Lieutenant Joseph Gordon Fickling, whom she had known from Florida. Fickling was stationed at the Naval Reserve Air Base in Long Beach. She spent the last 6 months of her life in Southern California, mostly in Los Angeles area. Shortly before her death, she had been working as a waitress and rented a room behind the Florentine Gardens nightclub in Hollywood, or on Hollywood Boulevard, actually. Short has been variously described and depicted as an aspiring or would-be actress. According to some sources, she did in fact have aspirations to be a film star, though she had no acting jobs or credits. Alright, so we're about to get into the good stuff here.
I'm still sharing.
You are, and we're 15 minutes into the show.
Yeah, well, you're reading.
So
this is keeping me from bothering you.
Radishes, nice.
Oh, God, I love me some radishes. I love, what is it, the pickled radishes they have at the salsa bars and stuff like that? Oh,
yeah.
You guys don't even know. Like, if you're in Texas, you know.
She was actually always so pretty in the pictures that we see of her. Nice, I love radishes. Yeah, thank you. It was called Army Air Corps. That's why it looked weird when it was typed out. He was in here a little bit. Where is Stud Muffin? He was in here.
Stud Muffin? Tom? Oh, yeah, he was in here for a second.
He escaped his cage.
He did. Oh, I wonder if that might be Tom right there.
Short really loves going into long places. Yep. That's where all the evil hookers hang out. Hollywood Boulevard. Alright, so prior to the murder, on January 9th, 1947, Short returned to her home in Los Angeles after a brief trip to San Diego with Robert Manley, a 25-year-old married salesman she had been dating. Manley stated that he dropped Short off at the Biltmore Hotel, located at 506 South Grand Avenue in downtown Los Angeles, and that Short was to meet her sister, who was visiting from Boston that afternoon.
Should I tag her?
Why not?
No, I'm just kidding.
By some accounts, staff of the Biltmore recalled having seen her use almost half a mile away from the Biltmore. On the morning of January 15th, 1947, Short's naked body was found severed into 2 pieces on a vacant lot on the west side of South Norton Avenue, midway between Coliseum and West 39th Street, in Lehman Park. You know exactly where that is.
I do. One of the craziest things, actually, when you go into the Museum of Death in Hollywood, they have the Black Dahlia exhibit right next to the Charlie Manson exhibit, almost mirroring each other. It's pretty cool.
I can't type.
Oh, what are you doing? What's going on? Elizabeth Bathory.
Okay, I hate not having light in here.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
But yeah, you kind of just come around the corner and you start you just like, oh my God, the first thing they have on display is the picture of her body cut in half. It's brutal.
It's not showing anything.
We can't show it. We can't show that. If we could do live feeds on MeWe's, we could show that, but we can't show that.
Okay. I was going to show that.
And guys, if you want to see what she looked like, just go Google the Black Dahlia murder, and you can find the murder pictures of her.
Yeah, they're pretty brutal.
Yeah.
She is cut in half. They gave her like
we can show the one with the blanket.
A smile. That's why I grabbed it.
Yeah.
They cut her from here to here and here to here.
Yeah, it's graphic.
They dislocated her jaw. They drained all her blood. That's part of why they really think that somebody with a surgical background,
or
a dentist,
or a butcher.
Yeah, that's Jack the Ripper, though.
It could be a butcher.
So here you go. This is her.
Wasn't she
peak.
disemboweled too? Like her intestines and everything were gone?
Well, yeah,
I
but
thought they were.
look.
See, because they're not spilled anywhere. They're
Well,
gone.
they're there a little bit.
Oh, you're right. A little bit.
Little bit.
Little bit.
Little bit.
Yeah. That's as far as we can
your
show.
Mom's.
It was definitely your mom's. She fucking came in there and she fucking just murdered the fucking... You shouldn't have been dating her, honestly.
La Sancha. Yeah, right?
You should not have been dating her.
That's an evil number.
If it was Norman Bates' mom, yes, Jillian. Your mom's killed her, Norman.
They did. They gave her like a Joker smile, basically.
Yeah.
There is a theory that she was meant to look like a piece of surreal art, which was a fascination of one of the main suspects. That's true. That is very true. So, they basically gave her a Glasgow smile. Glasgow smile.
Well, when in Rome.
Wow. Okay. So,
Are we gonna get into the autopsy? Because
we're getting into this part right now, okay?
I'm gonna say this right now. I'm sorry. I don't think the autopsy was too hard. God, I'm morbid. It's
Okay. So, at the time, the neighborhood was largely undeveloped. Local resident Betty Bersinger discovered the body at approximately 10 a.m. while walking her 3-year-old daughter.
If you've seen L.A., actually, that is actually something cool.
I just thought that was funny. I thought I was going to say 3 dogs.
No.
And I said 3-year-old daughter, and I was like, 3.
Yeah, it was in the
Year-old
morning.
daughter.
Yeah, it was pretty brutal. If you actually,
Yes, Glasgow.
I'm sorry, I was just messing with Liz, but if you actually see L.A. back then in the 40s compared to obviously now, sorry, I'm burping. You would see a huge, like, just farmlands and everything still everywhere.
Well, not in L.A.
In LA.
No, it wasn't
You
really.
would
The pictures I've seen
in the 40s.
in the 40s. You're a towel.
You're a towel. You're a towel. I mean, you would see farmlands and
The
stuff like that.
pictures that I had seen of the area that she was in
No, I'm not
were just largely undeveloped, but they were flat.
I'm not saying there was farmlands there. I'm saying you would see a lot of farmlands, a lot of things undeveloped compared to now, to where they can they were able to do stuff like that. Now
there's just more places to hide things.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
So, orange trees, as far as you can see, that was Orange County. That's where I'm actually from.
Yeah, Orange County is another hour.
2 hours. 2.5 hours.
Well, not too far.
Yeah, it's 2.5 hours.
Well,
It's past LA.
it is. That's only because of traffic. But if you're
Anyway.
if it wasn't for traffic, it's only like 30 minutes away.
Bersinger had actually been walking with her 3-year-old daughter and discovered the body around 10 a.m. She initially thought that she had found a discarded store mannequin. When she realized it was a corpse, she rushed to the nearby house and called the police. Short's body was severely mutilated. It was completely severed at the waist and drained of blood, leaving her skin very pallid white. Medical examiners determined that she had been dead for around 10 hours prior to the discovery, leaving her time of death either sometime during the evening of January 14th or the early morning hours of January 15th. The body had been washed by the killer. Her face had been slashed from the corners of her mouth up to the ear, creating what was known as a Glasgow smile. She had several cuts on her thigh and breasts, where entire portions of flesh had been sliced away. The lower half of her body was positioned a foot away from the upper, and her intestines had been tucked neatly beneath her buttocks. And the corpse had been posed with her hands over her head, her elbows bent at right angles, and her legs spread apart. Upon the discovery, a crowd of both passers-by and reporters began to gather. Los Angeles Herald Express reporter Aggie Underwood was among the first to arrive at the scene and took several pictures of the corpse and crime scene. Near the body, detectives located a heel print on the ground amid the tire tracks, and a cement sack containing watery blood was also found nearby.
Say that again?
a cement sack that was containing
Oh!
watery blood.
I know I'm not being funny here. I really, when you said cement sack, I pictured someone actually making a kind of like a cement sack out of cement, and then I was like, that's some effort right there. So.
Right? Okay, farming teacher. Sounds like Mommy Dearest.
Yeah.
That was a bad Family Guy reference. So, autopsy and identification. An autopsy of Short's body was performed on the 16th of January by Frederick Newbar, the Los Angeles County coroner. Newbar's autopsy report stated that Short was 5'5", weighed 115 pounds, had light blue eyes, brown hair, and had badly decayed teeth. There were ligature marks on her ankles, wrists, and neck, and an irregular laceration with superficial tissue loss on her right breast.
She had badly decayed teeth?
Yes.
Really?
Probably doing coke or something.
Oh, I don't think that was a big thing back then. I mean, it was, but it wasn't.
It was there.
It was there, but it wasn't the drug of choice back then.
She was also a whore.
I think it was laudanum. Laudanum was a big deal back then, wasn't it? I'm sorry.
Daddy dears. Did you know there are a few pics out there that show possible wristwatch on her upper cavity that was missing in later pictures? I've seen that.
I've seen those, and we can't find them and show them because
they're too brutal.
We'll get a ban.
So, there was irregular lacerations with superficial tissue loss on her right breast. It was also noted that superficial lacerations on the right forearm, left upper arm, and lower left side of the chest. Hold on. You can't read it.
But that's the autopsy report.
That's the autopsy report. And you know what? We're gonna run a commercial real fast.
Run. Go. We have some. So we're doing a collab. We're doing a.
Just watch.
Just watch. We're doing this tomorrow night. Check this out.
By the way, Jillian, Genevieve, you guys fucking rock.
They made that. Tomorrow night, 9:30 Eastern, we will be
and
doing that.
We do have to play this.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was all Thrillian.
Yeah. It was in cereal, for Christ's sakes.
We are talking about John List tomorrow night. It's gonna be fucking fun. And I'm gonna be on my best behavior. I'm not gonna be saying too many cuss words because
as he was all fuck.
Because you know, Genevieve and Jillian are very, very proper ladies. You know, Jillian never, ever swears.
So
listens to the devil goth music too.
So. It was noted that the body had been cut completely in half by a technique that was actually taught in the 1930s called a hemicorporectomy.
Wait, what?
A hemicorporectomy.
No. There's a technique?
This was actually a technique. So basically this technique is a way to separate the lumbar spine properly without leaving a whole lot of like instrumental damage on it. So
is there like a Harry Potter type serial killer school that we are not privy to?
We must find it.
I mean...
So basically...
I know, I'm sorry.
The mouth of a goth sailor. We will dance to Bauhaus.
Oh. Wait. Okay. We did our goth dance.
Proper!
Proper!
Mouth of a goth sailor.
Yeah, right.
So, basically, the lower half of her body had been removed by transecting the lumbar spine between the second and third lumbar vertebrae.
You said I can't say that word.
Thus, severing the intestine at the duodenum.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
What word? Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. I keep going to Rocky Horror.
Transecting?
I keep going to Rocky Horror every single time I hear it.
So, basically, they actually... So, they separated the lumbar spine, and they removed the intestine at the duodenum.
Oh my god, Kisa, that is hilarious.
Avada Kedavra.
Avacadaver. Just flies apart at the duodenum.
Avada Kedavra. So...
Sorry.
Thank you. Newbar's report noted very little bruising along the incision line, suggesting that it had been performed after death. So another gaping laceration measured 4.25 inches in length ran longitudinally.
Gaping laceration. Are you saying my ex-wife was there?
Anyway, from the umbilicus to the suprapubic region. So that's talking about right here.
I would stand up, but there's Celtic Frost stuff on my shirt.
You can already see it.
I know.
So the lacerations on each side of the face, which extended from the corners of the lips, were measured at 3 inches each. On the right, 3 inches on the right side and 2.5 on the left. The skull was not fractured, but there was bruising noted on the front side of her scalp, with a small amount of bleeding in the... I can't remember how to say that.
Where are you at?
Subarachnoid space on the right side, consistent with blows to the head. The cause of death was determined to be hemorrhaging from the lacerations to her face and shock from the blows to the head and the face.
So that laceration that gave her the Glasgow smile is what really...
Well, they hit her over the head multiple times.
Yeah. But she bled out from that
Yeah,
laceration.
because they actually noted that there was bruising.
So...
And when you look at...
Was there bruising on her ankles at all?
Yes. They said that there were ligature marks on the ankles, the wrists, and the neck.
Okay, so then they possibly had her upside down, and that's where she bled out from. Man, she was gorgeous. Wow.
She was beautiful.
Sorry, we're seeing a whole bunch of pics on another
She was
page.
absolutely beautiful.
Can we bring up one of those other pics of her, what she actually looked like?
I did earlier.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
That's a good one. Look at...
Yeah. We will do that.
Yeah. I'm sorry, she was
She
very
was beautiful.
gorgeous.
That's, I think, part of the fascination, honestly, with her. Is that she was absolutely beautiful.
Kisa's making me laugh.
I know.
Kisa, you're funny.
So here you go.
Yeah. Look at that.
Also, her brows, I want to make note here, her brows were not consistent with the trend back then.
No.
Those brows are closer. There's something I want to bring up here. I can bring that.
We can do this.
So, during the autopsy, after the autopsy, they sewed her up.
Let's do the warning, though, real fast.
But we are going to do a warning. I just needed to load first.
We can bring this up.
So, something I forgot to do here.
You want me to read it or you want to read it?
Warning, the following video contains explicit language which may be offensive
Or picture.
to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. We are also about to show a really, really, really intensely bad picture. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only. So again, trigger warning. Here you go. This is after the
autopsy, everything.
After the autopsy, after they determined everything that had happened to her, they sewed her up. And they tried to make her look presentable, but
There is
obviously
no way to make her look presentable. Sorry.
No, I know. But yeah.
Yeah. Disclaimer.
She
looks
was
like...
beautiful. She could be Jennifer O'Connell's mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Disclaimer. Boys. Jesus. Boys have a penis.
Where? What?
From freaking Kindergarten Cop.
You can bring it up. I don't care. A little bit's awesome. Bring it up. Boys have a penis, girls have a vagina. It's not a tumor!
Chaos, what's up?
Yes!
Yeah, bless her heart.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how bad of a person she could have been, because it sounds like she was a little bit trifling. Nobody deserves that shit.
No one deserved to be mutilated like that in any way, shape, or form. Not one bit. So.
She had issues. She had major mental issues, I'm sure. Yeah, that's what they were saying. The Glasgow smile was part of her bleed out.
Yeah. And then from the marks on her ankles and wrist actually shows that she probably was hung upside down to bleed out.
Yeah.
So it's possible that they knocked her out, and seeing that picture, it's possible that while she was hung upside down, bleeding out from that, and all the bruising along the head, that they just kept beating her while she was torturing her while she was upside down.
Yeah, it's pretty horrible.
Yeah.
It's really bad. Yeah, this is a brutal subject, guys. It really is.
You see why we showed that one and not the actual picture? It gets
the actual picture's worse.
The actual picture's really bad.
So, the cause of death, again, determined to be hemorrhaging from the lacerations in her face and the shock from blows to her head and face. Newbar noted that her anal cavity had been dilated about 1.7 inches.
Okay, so she was...
suggesting that she may have been anally raped.
Yep.
But samples showed no presence of semen.
Chaos, when we do our back chat later, I'll show you. We'll show you all the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I can't show this on a live feed right now. It's brutal.
Because of the arrest, she was fingerprinted. Because of her being drunk that one night and getting arrested, they were able to identify her. She was identified by her fingerprints and that were sent to the FBI. And they were on file. William Randolph Hearst's
what?
Los Angeles Examiner.
Oh.
So William Randolph Hearst
His
at the
newspaper.
time owned the newspaper, the Los Angeles Examiner.
He owned it till the day he died, I think.
Mm-hmm. And so it was his reporters that actually contacted her mother, Phoebe Short.
By the way, just on a side note, William Randolph Hearst was an awesome person. What? Did I just mess up?
No.
Maybe he wasn't an awesome person.
This is horrible.
Go, read it.
So I forgot about this. These reporters called her mother and said that her daughter had won a beauty contest.
What?
It was only after prying as much personal information as they could from the mother that the reporters actually revealed that her daughter had in fact been murdered.
Oh my God.
The newspaper offered to pay her airfare and accommodations if she would travel to Los Angeles to help with a police investigation.
Let me recant here real fast.
This was yet another ploy, since the newspaper kept her away from the police and other reporters to protect its scoop.
Let me recant here real fast. William Randolph Hearst owned this, but he was locked away in his castle. I'm pretty sure he'd be furious with this if he found out about it.
Another newspaper that Hearst owned, which was the Herald Express, later sensationalized the case with one article describing the black tailored suit Short was last seen wearing as a tight skirt and sheer blouse. The media nicknamed her the Black Dahlia and described her as an adventuress who prowled Hollywood Boulevard. And that she was...
Well, she was...
It was part of a sex fiend slaying.
Okay, well...
That's probably true.
That's probably true, and that's just verbiage. And she was... I'm sorry, she was a sex worker, right?
No.
Or no?
She was just kind of slutty.
Oh.
Yeah. Fucking douche canoes.
Yeah.
No, she does kind of look like a Raggedy Ann doll in that, which is part of why it was so messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only we had lives.
Yeah. We could show a whole bunch of brutal stuff here, but
Yeah, better. Damn. Guess I better stay off Hollywood Boulevard.
a little bit. If you've ever been to, if you ever go out to LA, there's parts of Hollywood you don't, Hollywood Boulevard you don't go to.
Okay, I'm not gonna make it through this.
Pretty much
We're gonna have a part 2.
We are gonna have a part 2. Pretty much right when you hit the Museum of Death, which is on Hollywood, you don't go past that, and it starts getting pretty sketchy. I'm just like this right now. Sorry. It gets pretty sketchy right at the Museum of Death, and if you go any further than that, it gets bad. Bad. As in, pulled into an alleyway and murdered. Bad.
I'm gonna not be able to make it through this.
You're fine. We can always have a part 2. This is huge.
We're gonna have a part 2, by the way, guys, because this is very big. I even have informations. Yes.
Yeah.
I do like creepy and eerie magazines. Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
By the way, a little bit has been Hollywood. Guys, I can't think. And yes, absolutely. Woo!
Oh, Chaos. If you guys go to Hollywood, you're staying here, and we're going to drive you.
Yeah.
We know all the spots in Hollywood. It's one of
Definitely.
our favorite places.
So, the initial investigation on January 21st, 1947, a person claiming to be Short's killer placed a phone call to the office of James Richardson, the editor of the Examiner, congratulating Richardson on the newspaper coverage of the case, and stated he planned on eventually turning himself in, but not before allowing the police to pursue him further. Additionally, the caller told Richardson to expect some souvenirs of Beth Short in the mail. That actually suggests, by the way, that he knew her, because she did go by Beth.
Sounds like possibly if she was promiscuous, it could have been someone who was very upset with her.
Yeah.
Who just said, screw this.
That's a little extra, though, for... Yeah, it does sound a bit like the Zodiac, right?
It does. Which may... Oh, my God. Natalie, you're doing part 2 with us. Another theory here, because this could be a ongoing thing throughout the years.
How old
have
was
more
the
show
Zodiac?
prep. Not how old was the Zodiac, but how much does it reach? The Zodiac isn't one person. It's not. It's a group.
He said, nope, going to Bakersfield. All right, come on over. We got some gumbo.
Yeah, I got some gumbo.
So,
Calvin's been as far as Utah.
on January 24th, a suspicious manila envelope was discovered by a U.S. Postal Service worker. The envelope had been addressed to the Los Angeles Examiner and other Los Angeles newspapers, with individual words that had been cut and pasted from newspaper clippings. Additionally, a large message on the face of the envelope read, "Here's Dahlia's belongings. Letter to follow." The envelope contained Short's birth certificate, business cards, photographs, names written on pieces of paper, an address book with the name Mark Hansen embossed on the cover. The packet had been carefully cleaned with gasoline, similarly to Short's body, which led police to suspect that the packet had been sent directly by her killer. Despite the efforts to clean the packet, several partial fingerprints were lifted from the envelope and sent to the Federal Bureau of Investigation for testing. However, the prints were compromised in transit and thus could not be properly analyzed. The same day, the packet was received by the Examiner. A handbag and a black suede shoe were reported to have been seen on the top of a garbage can in an alley a short distance from Norton Avenue, which is 2 miles from where her body had been discovered. The items were discovered by police, but they had also been wiped clean with gasoline, destroying any fingerprints. So, if they hadn't gotten fucked up in transit, there's a possibility they'd at least have more of an idea of who did it.
Yeah, they probably would have had an idea of who did it, but because back then...
Fingerprints were only being done still by the FBI.
Fingerprints was also, even back then, I think were more hard to look through. And
Well,
stuff like
I guess they weren't doing only done by the FBI.
No, they even said that the police departments were doing it. That's how they found her. But it was not easy to pin something on someone. That's one of the reasons why we had the big serial killer boom in like the 70s.
Come out here.
In 70s and 80s and stuff like that, is because that's right before the tech actually started catching up with everybody.
Nice.
You know, one of the reasons why it's so hard to find serial killers right now. I mean, even though the FBI or say that there's between 30 and 40 serial killers active in the United States at any one time, but there's so much tech to find them. You know, back then, even having this stuff shipped to them is like, whatever.
So Natalie said, "I'm gonna tell you, CIA was probably instructed."
Number station.
Yeah.
Was it your kitty, Natalie? Was it the cat who was activated the other night?
So on March 14th, an apparent suicide note scrawled in pencil on a bit of paper was found tucked in a shoe in a pile of men's clothing by the ocean's edge at the foot of Breeze Avenue in Venice. The note read, "To whom it may concern, I have waited for the police to capture me for the Black Dahlia killing, but they have not. I am too much of a coward to turn myself in, so this is the best way out for me. I couldn't help myself for that. Or this. Sorry, Mary."
Natalie says her derpy was activated.
Yeah, I haven't been caught yet.
Oh, whatever, chaos. You're a big old puppy.
Yeah, I did think that the father could have done it, especially with a cowardly note like that. That said, like, oh.
But the father didn't commit suicide. Did he?
No, he did not. He feigned committing suicide to leave his family.
Oh.
And move to California and start a new life.
But there was no history of sexual abuse or anything like that between
that we know of.
That we know of.
In fact, I actually do have some notes later on that we're going to get touch base on next week. Or not next week. The week after. Because next week is October Noir.
Yeah, we have the October Noir coming on. You guys don't know who they are. Check them out. They're fucking awesome.
Definitely. So
we could do it on like a Monday or Tuesday.
We can finish this off on Monday.
We can figure it out.
I'm actually off on Sunday, though.
We might have to do this on Sunday.
Awesome.
After the unraids. Ooh.
I do have an 8 o'clock walk on Sunday, though.
We can figure these out.
So, but it was signed Mary, by the way. The pile of clothing was first seen by a beach caretaker who reported the discovery to John Dillon, the lifeguard captain. Dillon immediately notified Captain L.E. Christensen of West Los Angeles Police Station. The clothes included a coat, trousers of blue herringbone tweed, a brown and white shirt. I think that's supposed to be tee, but whatever. White jockey shorts, tan socks, and tan moccasin leisure shoes. About size 8. The clothes gave no clue about the identity of their owner. Police quickly deemed Mark Hansen, the owner of the address book found in the packet, a suspect. Hansen was a wealthy local nightclub owner and theater owner, and an acquaintance of Short that she had stayed with. So, according to some sources, he also confirmed that the purse and the shoes discovered in the alley were in fact Short's. And Toth, Short's friend and roommate, told investigators that Short had recently rejected sexual advances from Hansen and suggested it as a potential cause for her, motive for her killing. However, he was cleared of suspicion in the case. In addition to Hansen, the Los Angeles Police Department interviewed over 150 men in the ensuing weeks from, whom they believed could have been potential suspects. Manley, who had been one of the last people to see Short alive, was also investigated but was cleared of suspicion after passing numerous polygraph tests. Police also interviewed several people found in the address book, including Martin Lewis, who had been an acquaintance of hers. Lewis was able to provide an alibi for the date of Short's murder, as he was in Portland visiting his father-in-law, who was dying from kidney failure. A total of 750 investigators from the LAPD and other departments worked on the case during its initial stages, including 400 sheriff's deputies, 250 California State Patrol officers. Various locations were searched for potential evidence, including storm drains throughout Los Angeles, abandoned structures, and various sites along the Los Angeles River. But searches yielded no evidence. City Councilman Lloyd G. Davis posted a $10,000 reward, which is the equivalent in 2020 of $115,902.
I was actually, I don't know why I somehow did the math in my head. I was actually about to say it was about 150.
115.
115. I'm sorry, I was way off.
After the announcement of the reward, various people came forward with confessions, most of which were dismissed as false. Several of the false confessors were charged with obstruction of justice.
That is something like so weird that when stuff like this comes out, like even to this day, when something happens that's messed up, there are people that will come out there to confess to it, to just whatever, and they're like, "You're not a part of this. You're messing things up." You know, it's like people love to confess to murders. It's so weird. Like it's so out there and just so.
Henry Lee Lucas.
That was different. There was something different going on there. He was actually
mentally unstable.
No, he's prolonging his time, so he didn't have to go serve anymore. Whatever. So.
Well, he was also dumb as a stump.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, he was actually. He really was.
It's like saying Gary Ridgway is dumb as a stump. Gary Ridgway was not. They're not dumb. They're just.
We have 6 minutes, 8 minutes.
Sorry, not to go off on this. Henry Lee Lucas was actually confessing, so he didn't have to spend so much time in jail. He just kept confessing, and the Texas Rangers were actually willing just to offload a ton of unsolved murders on him.
So on January 26th, another letter was received by the Examiner. This time, handwritten, which read, "Here it is, turning in Wednesday, January 29th, 10 a.m. Had my fun at police. Black Dahlia Avenger." The letter also named a location to which the supposed killer would turn himself in. Police waited at the location on the morning of January 29th, but the alleged killer did not appear. Instead, at 1 p.m., the Examiner office received another cut-and-paste letter which read, "I've changed my mind. You would not give me a square deal. Dahlia killing was justified."
I'm sorry, Chaos. I'm yawning right now. We've had a very active day.
The graphic nature of the crime and subsequent letters received by the Examiner had resulted in a media frenzy surrounding the murder. Both local and national publications covered the story heavily, many of which reprinted sensationalistic reports suggesting that Short had been tortured for hours prior to her death, which is not sensational.
It's accurate.
That's pretty accurate. The information, however, was false. Yet police allowed the reports to circulate as to conceal the true cause of death. Cerebral hemorrhage.
Yeah. It was caused by the torture.
Officially, cerebral hemorrhage, I guess. Even though the coroner report that we were reading said from a bleed out.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, they have different accounts on everything.
Look, you go back and look at the picture. She was clearly beaten a lot.
Yeah.
Along the head.
Well,
Constantly.
so further reports about her personal life were publicized, including details about her alleged declining of Hansen's romantic advances. Additionally, a stripper who was an acquaintance of hers told the police that she liked to get guys worked up over her, but then she'd leave them hanging dry.
So basically, this is like the first car chase ever, put out there. Hey, everyone, come over and look at this. Mm-hmm. We're gonna make this is the first train wreck. We're gonna make stuff up and just go off on this. It's clear she was beaten in the head, and it's also clear that she was.
Get this. This also led the police and detectives to look at the possibility that she was a lesbian.
Oh, Jesus.
And they started questioning employees and patrons of gay bars in Los Angeles.
This is what it is in the 1940s right here. Mm-hmm. This is what happens. This is where police and the real detectives actually learn later on in the 50s and 60s and 70s to shut their fucking mouths and find out what happened. And they still didn't do it back then.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not going off on police here. I'm just saying.
Well, get this.
Stating facts here.
So because of that statement of her getting guys all worked up and then leaving them hanging dry, they decided that she might have been a lesbian. So these were completely unsubstantiated, by the way.
Are you serious? Are they being... They basically became frat boys is what they were.
Yeah.
They're like, look at this. Clearly she's this type of person here.
Yeah.
And we're just going to... That's what we're going to pin it on, and that's how she died.
Well, the Herald Express also received several letters from the purported killer. Again, made with cut-and-paste clippings. One of which read, "I will give up on Dahlia killing if I get 10 years. Don't try to find me."
No. Kelly, people tend to generally tend to bleed out when you cut them in half.
Well, that was the thing. What she bled out from was the Glasgow smile,
right there when they cut
not
that.
from being cut in half. She was actually drained of blood and then cut in half.
Before they cut in half. It was it was very personal killing. It was very aggressive. Whoever did it, they wanted her.
So this is going to be the last statement that we make.
Regardless of how they wanted her in her position, if it was art or whatever, this was personal.
So, here we go. On February 1st, the Los Angeles Daily News reported that the case had run into a stone wall, with no new leads for investigators to pursue. The Examiner continued to run stories on the murder and the investigation, which was front-page news for 35 days following the discovery of the body. When interviewed, lead investigator Captain Jack Donahue told the press that he believed Short's murder had taken place in a remote building or shack on the outskirts of Los Angeles,
You've seen Captain Jack.
and her body transported into the city where it was disposed of. Based on the precise cuts and the dissection of her corpse, the LAPD looked into the possibility that the murderer may have been a surgeon, a doctor, or somebody with medical knowledge. In mid-February of 49, the LAPD served a warrant to the University of Southern California Medical School, which was located near the site where her body was discovered, requesting a complete list of the program's students. The university agreed so long as the students' identities remained private. Background checks were conducted, and it yielded no
They're grasping at
results.
fucking straws, is what you're saying. They were like, we don't know what to do here.
Well, yeah.
So we're going to check this part out where she was dumped. Dude, she was drained of blood, and there was no sign of blood or anything right here. She was just dumped right here.
So Sergeant Finis Brown, talking about like all the various dead ends in the case, no lead had any conclusions. Once we'd find something, it seemed to disappear in front of our eyes.
You know...
Yeah,
Kelly said, how about a butcher? And I was actually going to go there. Or how about someone with a background in being a butcher, or someone who was possibly a farmer of some sort who actually butchered their own livestock. Being that Los Angeles at the time, that's where I was getting at, even though this was a vacant lot, you still go 20 minutes south at the time. It's Orange County. Original snuff films, yes. It could have...
it was around that same time.
Yes. There were so many places back then in Los Angeles or in Orange County, in the entire area, especially if it happened 10 hours prior. You know, there were so many places where they could do this at. It's so ridiculous for the cops to actually. There? It's so ridiculous for the cops to actually be like, oh, clearly she was a lesbian, you know, and that's the reason why she made some men mad.
So I just have one more thing that we gotta get through before we gotta go.
You got 1 minute. We gotta go.
Literally, I know. So by the spring of 1947, Short's murder had become a cold case with few leads. Sergeant Finis Brown, one of the lead detectives in the case, blamed the press for compromising the investigation through reporters prohibiting the details of unverified reporting and unverified reporting. In September of 49, a grand jury convened to discuss the inadequacies in the LAPD's homicide unit based on their failure to solve numerous murders, especially those of women and children in the past several years, Short's being one of them. In the aftermath of the grand jury, further investigation was done to Short's past. The detectives tracing her movements between Massachusetts, California, and Florida also interviewed people who knew her in Texas and New Orleans. However, the interview still yielded no successful information for the murder. So we're going to cover this. We're going to finish this up probably on Sunday or Monday.
Let's go for Monday.
Monday. Okay, we'll do it on Monday after Mikey.
Kelly, I grew up on a farm after Steve the cat.
After Steve the cat.
Kelly, I grew up on a farm too.
All right. So
we got to go, guys.
Everybody have a wonderful night. Thank you for joining us tonight. And bye.
I know set the world higher. I know the song of a lady. Bye.